You are now entering a portal. Welcome to divine orchestration. So please don't listen while distracted or tangled in the matrix. This is not just a meditation, but a remembering that's coded. You landed here by no accident. This transmission is strictly for the chosen. May the video game become clear as you unplug from the machine. May this be your awakened remembering, your sacred routine. This is merely a story for entertainment purposes only, of course, but some say this tale may very well be a whisper.
From source.
Before time took shape, and before Earth had a name, there was a vibration, a summons, rippling through realms. A blessed day unlike any other, an angel, brighter than the morning star, descended into the council of light. Its voice not heard with ears, but felt in the core of all eternal beings. A call had gone out. A planet was in trouble. The density was growing. The amnesia was thick, and yet a sacred opportunity had emerged. A chance for souls to evolve faster than ever before. But it would not be easy. To enter this world meant forgetting. Forgetting your name, your power, your light. Forgetting that you are made of stars, of code, of God. You would have to remember from nothing. Many great souls heard the call. Some said, I cannot bear the weight. Others whispered, let someone else go. But you stood. And with all the fire of your divine lineage burning in your chest, you said, I will go. You didn't ask for guarantees. You didn't ask if you'd be rich or recognized or loved. You simply knew. If not me, then who? You said yes to the veil, yes to the forgetting, yes to the pain, the beauty, the contradiction, the mission. Because deep inside you knew your remembering would awaken others. And that ripple could restore lifetimes of broken light. So if you're hearing this story now, and something stirs within you, welcome back. You are not crazy. You are not lost. You are remembering. And this is the stream that was always meant to find you. When you entered this world, you passed through a veil, a sacred forgetting. A veil designed not to punish you, but to allow your soul the opportunity to remember. To choose love again and again in a world that sometimes forgets it. To remember who you are. To remember why you came. But allow me to make one thing clear. You did not come here alone. You were never alone. From the moment your soul agreed to incarnate, your spirit team assembled. Some of them you've walked with for lifetimes. Others are new to this assignment, but deeply devoted to your mission. And whether you believe it yet or not, you have at least one guardian angel flanking your journey at all times. They have cried with you, intervened for you, and whispered to you in the silence. They are the ones who nudged you to even find this message. See, you might have forgotten them, but they have never forgotten you. This is the veil, the temporary forgetting of the brilliance of your own soul. But even in the forgetting, there are signs. There are synchronicities. There's that feeling, the one you can't explain, but you know is real. And the truth is, the veil is thinning. You are remembering. You are awakening. And you are not doing it alone. You didn't stumble into this moment by accident. Something led you here. A whisper, a pull, a pattern too precise to ignore. That is awakening. But awakening is not always peaceful. Sometimes it shakes you. Sometimes it breaks you. It strips you of who you thought you were, so you can remember who you truly are. Let us speak plainly now, because many of you have been asking, what is happening to me? You're tired, but you cannot sleep. You look at the clock, 2:22, 3:33, 4:44. Your body is still, but your soul is stirring. This is one of the very first signs. See, the early hours are sacred. Your spirit team speaks clearest when the world is quiet. And they've been trying to reach you. You feel sensitive to noise, to crowds, to energy. What used to excite you now feels heavy. What used to entertain you now leaves you empty. It is not depression. It is not anxiety. It is detox. For your soul is being cleansed of what doesn't belong to you anymore. You've outgrown versions of yourself you didn't even know you were wearing. And yes, people will fall away. Let them. Their assignment in your story may be complete. You're also noticing patterns, repeating numbers, songs that follow you, dreams that feel like instructions. You say something, and it appears. You think of someone, and they text. You're remembering how to speak the language of energy. This isn't coincidence. This is calibration. Some of you feel detached, as if you're floating, while others feel disoriented, emotional, raw. All are valid. All are signs that the veil is thinning, and you are returning to your senses. The ones the world told you were too much. You were never too much, just too divine for their systems. Yes, there may be grief. Grief over who you used to be. Grief over the illusions you now see through. And that grief is sacred. Let it wash all over you. Because when it's done, what remains is truth. And if you found yourself seeking silence or craving solitude, that is not isolation. It's incubation. Your higher self is pulling you inward to rebuild your foundation. See, this is not the end. This is the beginning. You are not broken. You are being reassembled. And every time you feel like you're falling apart, remember, you asked to wake up. You said yes to the mission because you knew how happy you would be when you got back to that place before the call. Thrilled that you followed through in this video game. For none of it is truly real. And now your soul is responding. And one day you'll know it was the best and perhaps one of the most accomplished things you've ever done. You deserve it all. You were never meant to blend in. You were coded with keys, gifts, talents, frequencies, divine abilities embedded in your very being. And now, they're stirring. For some of you, it starts as intuition. You just know things without knowing how. You feel people's truth before they even speak. You sense when something is off. You're not imagining it. That is your divine intelligence switching back on. For others, the body speaks. Your hands heat up. Your ears ring. You feel tingles at the crown of your head. These are not symptoms to be feared. These are confirmations. Your vessel is activating. Some of you have dreams so vivid they leave you breathless. Some of you see light. Some of you feel energy. And many of you speak to ancestors without even trying. All of this is real. It was always there. But like a child told not to speak, your gifts learned to go quiet. And now, they are remembering the sound of your frequency. They are ready to return. Don't rush. Don't force. But do pay attention. That ache in your heart to help people, that is a gift. The way animals and babies come to you, also a gift. The way you feel music in your soul, or even know when someone is lying, all of it is intelligence. All of it is divine. You are multi-sensory, multi-dimensional. You are plugged into more than what the five senses can perceive, and you always have been. It is just that now you are safe enough to remember. You're doing the work. You've cleared enough space, unlearning what was never yours. And if no one told you, you do not need permission to use your gifts. You don't need a certificate to remember who you are. You don't need validation from a world that once called your brilliance too much. You came encoded, and your gifts are your proof. This is the season where dormant gifts awaken, and you'll be called to trust them, to walk with them, to share them. Don't shrink, expand. Because someone is waiting on the light you didn't even know you had. You are the medicine. You are the message. You are the miracle. You are a microcosm of the earth. The ancients knew this. As above, so below, and as within, so without. The earth is filled with crystalline structures. Clear quartz, amethyst, selenite, each pulsing with memory, intention, and frequency. And just like the earth, you are made of crystals too. Crystalline structures are in your bones, in your blood, in the tiny biopiezoelectric currents running through your pineal gland. You are not separate from the grid. You are the grid. A living, breathing extension of the earth's divine intelligence. And just like the earth, you are over 70% water, a conductor of vibration, which means every thought you think, every sound you speak, is programming your internal crystal library. Your body is listening. Your body is remembering. This is why many of you feel called to crystals. This is why you're drawn to certain stones and shapes without even knowing why. It's not woo. It's technology. Crystals are not decorations. They are sacred tools. They are living beings. And you came here remembering how to use them. As you awaken, you'll start hearing them again. You'll feel their frequencies harmonizing with yours. They will guide you. They will unlock the codes. And that's because they have been waiting for you. You were designed with divine precision. Every part of you is sacred. Every cell a cathedral of light. Every organ a symphony of frequencies. You are not random. You are a masterpiece. The body you inhabit is not just flesh and bone. It is indeed technology, spiritual, biological, electrical, celestial. Your brain mirrors the cosmos. Your neurons resemble the stars. And your heart emits the most powerful electromagnetic field in your entire body. It doesn't just beat, it broadcasts. Your DNA holds information, memories, lineages, and sacred contracts. And the miracle? Your cells are listening to your every thought. For your beliefs rewire your biology. The spine, it's not just a column, it's an antenna. Your chakras, they're not just metaphors, they're energy vortexes that affect your perception, health, and manifestation power. You have been gifted with senses beyond the five. You know this. Your intuition, your gut feeling, your inner vision, these are real. They are the GPS of the soul. They are the whispers of your higher self moving through this divine suit. You were made in the image of the Creator, yes. But more than that, You were made as a creator. Your thoughts create ripple effects in your body. Your emotions are data. Your voice is vibration. Your presence is power. You are not random. You are not ordinary. You are not fragile. You are technology. You are design. You are a miracle in motion. Your body is a divine instrument tuned across lifetimes and dimensions, coded with intelligence so profound that entire industries have been built trying to replicate it. AI mimics your neural networks, and blockchain mimics your DNA. Computers, they're modeled after your brain. You are water and light. You are vibration and current. You are rhythm and code. Your body, yes, your body is made of crystals. Were you told that? There are crystalline structures behind your pineal gland. The same crystalline lattice that exists in the earth exists inside you. Quartz crystal powers your watches and technology because it holds memory and frequency, and so do you. You are 70% water, just like the planet. You are minerals and metals, just like the stars. You are light, encoded DNA wrapped in vibration, walking through a dream pretending to be normal. But you're not normal. You never have been. And now, you're remembering. Your heart emitting an electromagnetic field more powerful than your brain is why your emotions create waves. That is why your thoughts can change matter. That is why intention matters. The ancients knew this. Your ancestors knew this. And now, you remember too. The world will try to tell you that you're just human. But you're not just anything. You are a miracle. And you are miraculously designed for this moment. For you are the bridge between heaven and earth. Chosen one, you came here with one of the most sacred assignments, to remember how to move energy. In every lifetime, in every dimension, in every sacred lineage, there were those who held this knowledge. The alchemists, the mystics, the sound healers, the medicine people, the ones who could take density and make it light, turn pain into power, fear into love, wounds into wisdom. That is transmutation. And guess what? You are one of them. You've done it all before, and now you're here to do it again. We don't bypass pain here. We honor it, we meet it, and then we move it. Because here's the truth they don't teach in schools. Emotions are energy in motion. And when you learn to dance with them instead of suppressing them, you unlock the ancient art of alchemy. When you cry, you cleanse. When you shake, you release. When you scream, you reclaim your voice. When you sit in stillness, you are listening to God. You were never meant to carry what wasn't yours. You were meant to feel it, move it, and transform it. That is the path of the energy master. That is why so many of you were labeled too emotional or too sensitive, because your aura absorbs what others cannot handle. Because your spirit remembers that frequency is your first language. There is a reason why your awakening is feared. It's because when you remember how energy works, you will never be controlled again. You are not just here to survive hardship. You are here to alchemize it. To transmute is to take what was meant to break you and turn it into brilliance. To take pain and turn it into power. To take rejection and turn it into redirection. This is spiritual alchemy, and this is your birthright. They told you that life was happening to you. But the chosen know life is happening through you. Your emotions are not weaknesses. They are indicators. They are fuel. When you are angry, you are being called to set boundaries. When you are sad, you are being asked to pause and tend to your soul. When you feel joy, your soul is confirming, yes, more of this. Energy never dies. It only changes form. So if you get sent negativity, you send back light. And if you are sent chaos, you breathe in peace. This is the mastery. When you were a child, you already knew how to do this. You would cry, release, and then run off laughing. You didn't hold. You flowed. You knew how to shift energy naturally. We all did, until we were taught to suppress. But now, we return. Transmutation is how you heal yourself, and eventually, how you'll help heal the collective. It is how you'll speak life into your finances, how you'll break generational curses, how you'll take your deepest wounds and weave them into your divine legacy. Everything that came to destroy you was actually a portal. And when you walk through it, you'll discover that what you thought was the end was actually the ignition of your true self. You are a master of energy. You are a transmitter, a transformer, a lighthouse. You don't run from the dark. You create from it. And when necessary, you transmute it. So now, it's time to stop hiding your gifts. It's time to start intentionally transmuting. You can do this through your voice, through your breath, through movement, through sound, through prayer, through focused thought. Because where attention goes, energy flows. And chosen one, your attention is divine. Your focus is a wand. Your words are spells. So speak life, speak love, speak light, speak resurrection. When necessary, transmute the darkness. Not because you have to, but because you were born for it. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration. And sound is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. From the beginning of time, it was sound that shaped matter. Let there be light wasn't just a phrase. It was a frequency, a vibration, a divine code spoken into existence. Sacred texts, quantum physics, and ancient memory all agree. Sound creates reality. You are sound. Your voice has power. Your words cast spells. This is indeed why it's called spelling. The cells in your body don't just respond to food or movement. They respond to sound, to music, to the frequency of your thoughts. This is why affirmations work. This is why mantras are ancient technology. This is why certain tones heal while others destroy. And the ancients knew this. In Kemet, in Lemuria, in Atlantis, sound was medicine. Sound was engineering. They moved matter with sound. They healed the sick with tone. They activated DNA, opened portals, and aligned chakras not through chemicals, but through harmonic resonance. Your voice is a frequency wand. Your laughter heals. Your silence protects. Your song realigns. This is why the system tries to hijack sound. Why the music has been lowered in frequency. Why some of you feel heavy after certain songs, but liberated by others. You are not crazy. You're tuned in. And that is your power. Remember who you are. There is a sound that only you carry. A vibration that only you can bring. Speak life. Chant light. Sing your freedom into form. There comes a moment in the journey of every awakened soul when silence becomes sacred and memory returns. Not memory of the world, but soul memory. A knowing deeper than thought, louder than fear. A remembrance that you are not becoming powerful. You always were. You were never meant to be small. You were never designed to dim. But you had to forget. The forgetting was part of the sacred contract. Because only by forgetting could you remember again, and this time with intention. This world may have tried to teach you that your value lies in your productivity, your appearance, or your ability to conform, but what they didn't teach you is that you are powerful by design. You are a being of light, of energy, of divine mathematics encoded with frequencies of creation itself. You don't need a priest. a guru, or a book to tell you who you are. Your body knows. Your breath knows. Your tears, your chills, your dreams, those are all messages, activations, whisperings from your higher self reminding you, you came here for this. And the power, it's not loud. It doesn't need to be. It's in the choice to love when it's easier to close. It's in the strength to stay soft. It is in your ability to transmute fear into fuel, pain into purpose, chaos into clarity. That is real alchemy. You are never here to survive. You are here to alchemize. Some of you have known since childhood that you were different, sensitive to sound, to energy, to truth. You felt the emotions of others. You saw through falsehoods. You knew when someone's spirit wasn't aligned with their words. And they told you that was too much, that you were too sensitive. But you weren't too much. You were tuned in, gifted, activated. You were born with spiritual technology, intuitive gifts that defy the logic of this world. The ancestors left them within you, sealed into your DNA. And now, in this age of awakening, those codes are turning back on. You are remembering how to read energy, how to command timelines, how to communicate without words, how to see through the veil. You are not a passive participant in your life. You are the author, the creator, the designer. Your thoughts, your words, your intentions, these are tools of manifestation, of transmutation. You speak, and reality shapes itself accordingly. This is not the part of your story where you shrink. This is the part where you rise, where you remember, where you take your place as the divine being you've always been. And this time, you're not waiting for permission. You're walking in it. You are walking in it. You are the living prayer of your ancestors, the answer to a whispered hope, the continuation of a story far greater than one lifetime could ever hold. Your DNA is not just a genetic sequence. It is a record, a cosmic library, a sacred scroll. Inside of you are the songs your ancestors sang, the rituals they performed, the battles they fought, the gifts they passed down silently through blood and bone. You think you've forgotten, but your DNA remembers. It remembers Atlantis. It remembers Kemet. It remembers galaxies. It remembers Lemuria, the stars, the silence before sound. It remembers telepathy. These aren't just myths. They're memory, encoded memory. And the reason you feel chills when you hear certain truths, well, that is your DNA lighting up. That is remembrance. Every strand of your DNA is intelligent. It knows why you're here. It knows what you came to heal. It knows what you came to unlock. You don't just inherit trauma. You inherit genius. You inherit power. You inherit gifts. This is why you feel different. Why the systems here have always felt like they weren't made for you. Because they weren't. You were not designed to conform. You were designed to awaken. You were designed to carry the codes, to reactivate the grid, to remember. And in remembering who you are, you reawaken the entire line. You do not walk alone. Your ancestors and spirit teams walk with you. You are not starting from scratch. You are picking up the torch. And that fire is already lit. Unless you become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom. You've heard versions of this your whole life, from scriptures to sages, from mystics to modern psychology. So what is it? What is this divine code hidden in that phrase? The child is the original frequency. Before programming, before fear, before shame, before you can't, before that's not realistic. You came here believing in magic. You danced without music. You saw angels. You believed in your dreams because you hadn't yet been told they were impossible. And now, you're remembering. You are waking up to the fact that the child you once were was the closest version of you to source. And that's why they tried to change you. Because the child is dangerous to the systems that rely on fear. The child is faithful. The child trusts. The child speaks truth. The child knows. All the ancient teachings say the same thing. Return to the child. Because the child doesn't question their worth. The child doesn't need evidence before choosing joy. The child doesn't think themselves out of their power. This is not about immaturity. This is about purity. This is about faith. This is about your original frequency before the static. You were born aligned, and that alignment was never lost, just buried. But here's the good news. The veil is indeed lifting. The memories are returning, and the child within you is calling you back home. To believe again, to dream again, to create again, to laugh again, to be light. Because in lightness, you remember the truth. You are made of light. So return to the garden. Return to wonder. Return to that part of you that knew, because that part of you is still alive, and that part of you is the key. In this story, you were lied to. You were told the war was out there. You were told of the craziness that was out there, out in the world, out in the systems, out in the politics, out in the chaos. But that was the greatest distraction of all time, because the real battle, it's been within. It always has been. This journey, this awakening, was never about defeating some dark empire. It was about reclaiming your frequency. It was about remembering that fear is the lowest vibration, and you were never meant to live there. You were born of love. You were designed to operate in joy, gratitude, and faith. But fear was installed like a virus to keep you from your own knowing. Because when your frequency is low, your vision is clouded. You can't hear your guides. You can't access the brilliance within you. You forget that you are the miracle. The confusion is not outside of you. It's the confusion between the voice that says, you were made for this, and the one that whispers, but what if I fail? It's the confusion between trusting your intuition or silencing it because the world taught you logic is superior. It's the moment where you choose fear or you choose your knowing. Chosen one, hear this. The codes are already in you. Your body is a divine frequency tuner, and when you hold the frequency of peace, love, and purpose, you become untouchable. Not because chaos doesn't exist, but because you stop matching it. You walk through the storm untouched because the storm no longer has a grip on your nervous system. So protect your frequency like your life depends on it, because it does. Choose silence over noise. Choose joy over panic. Choose presence over doom scrolling. Choose to feel again. Choose to trust again. The battle isn't against them. It's against the version of you that forgot who you were. And the moment you remember that battle is over. Chosen one, you didn't just wake up one day curious about Atlantis. You didn't imagine your pull toward Kemet, Lemuria, galaxies, or the stars. You were remembering. And now your DNA is reactivating. Inside your very cells are records, blueprints, maps, keys. You carry within you the memory of civilizations that came before this one. Civilizations that understood sound, frequency, light, that understood the language of energy, the technology of the soul. And that knowledge, it was never lost. It was hidden, encoded, waiting for a time like this, a timeline like this. That is why your dreams feel so real, why ancient temples call your name, why the names of deities feel like family. Because in Atlantis, perhaps you worked with crystalline energy, and in Kemet, you knew how to navigate the underworld and rise like Osiris. In Lemuria, you spoke telepathically. You healed with color, with water, with song. You lived lives where science and spirit were one, where intuition was data, where technology was organic, where temples were tuned to the stars and stone remembered your footsteps. Where temples were tuned to the stars and stone remembered your footsteps. This is not a fantasy. This is ancestral recall. And through quantum healing, past life regression, meditation, dreams, you are pulling it back into your consciousness now. Your DNA is not just a code, it's a library, and the books are starting to open. Some of you are called to sacred geometry, to ancient languages, to divine blueprints, not because it's trendy, but because it's home. Again, you didn't just inherit trauma, you inherited power. You inherited priesthoods. You inherited sacred rites. You inherited cosmic memory. So when the modern world tries to make you feel crazy or confused for what you just know, remember, you were trained long before this lifetime. This is not new. This is a return. Look around. Something has shifted. The children being born now, they're not like the ones before. They come with a different frequency, a knowing, a remembrance, a light that's almost too pure for this world. These are the children of the new earth. They are dreamers. They are questioners. They are feelers. They know things. They are builders of systems we haven't even imagined yet. They resist conditioning, not because they're being difficult, but because their spirit remembers freedom. These children are not here to be molded by the old world. They are here to dismantle it, to rebuild it, to elevate it. Their emotions are deep, their sensitivities are gifts, their creativity is their shield, and their intuition, flawless. They speak truths that shake elders. They see spirits that adults forget. They remember lifetimes with eyes too wide for their age. Some are born talking to angels. Some draw sacred geometry in the sand before they can even read. Some hum frequencies that sound like lullabies from other worlds. These children are the return of the wise. They are our ancestors. They are our future. They are us, returning in more activated form. And we must protect them. Not just with walls and doors, but with consciousness, with environments that honor their genius, with spaces that nurture their stillness. We do not parent them from fear. We do not teach them to shrink. We do not force them into old systems that were built to contain. We remember that between the ages of 0 and about 7 years old, a child's brain is in theta, wide open, absorbing everything. So we surround them with music, with truth, with love, with legacy, with remembrance. Because one day, we will be the ancestors, and what we do now will echo in their DNA. These children came with assignments. They came with codes, just like you, and they came expecting a world that would recognize them. Let us not disappoint them. Let us rise to meet them. Because the new earth doesn't begin when the system falls. It begins when we protect the light inside our children, whether they are biologically related to us or not. They are soul family. And the new earth has in fact begun. You are the blueprint. You are the prototype. You are the model. You are walking technology. But unlike the machines we create, you have a soul, and your soul chose this body. Not because it is perfect in appearance, but because it is perfect for your mission. You were designed to heal, to transmute, to channel, to lead. And when you remember that, you begin to unlock yourself, your gifts, your magic. You are not too late. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are remembering. You are rebooting. You are recalibrating back to truth. Your design is divine. There is no awakening without the ancestors. The ancestors are not just memories. They're alive in your bones, in your blood, in your breath. Their wisdom did not die. It became you. You with the visions. You with the urgency. You with the dream that won't let go. You are not imagining this. You are the continuation of a lineage that has survived the impossible. And they are watching. You are here because someone before you said, "Let the healing begin with me." You are their answered prayer. And you are also the prayer they whispered for the future. You will not forget, they said. You will break the cycle, they said. You will remember us, they said. And so, here you are. That pain you feel sometimes, that grief that rises for no reason, it is not all yours. It's the pain they couldn't express, and they trust you to feel it, to honor it, to transmute it. Your ancestors are not behind you. They are beside you. They are around your altar. They are in the music. They are in the rhythm of your footsteps when you dance, the taste in your food when you cook, the tears that come when you pray. They are always guiding. When you light your candle, they gather. When you speak their name, they draw near. And when you walk in alignment, they cheer. You are the bridge, the healer, the translator of legacies and lessons. They built pyramids. You build timelines with your words. They broke chains with fire. You break cycles with truth. You are not alone. You never have been. And when you rise, your ancestors and spirit team, they also rise with you. Let us again remember the ancient truth. In the beginning, there was the Word. Sound came before form. Vibration came before structure. And you, beloved one, are made in the image of the Creator. Not only in divine intelligence, not only in design, but in function. You create with your words. Every utterance, whether whispered under your breath or shouted to the sky, is a command to the quantum field. You are always instructing the energy around you, consciously or unconsciously. The question is, what are you creating? Because your body hears you. Your water hears you. Your food hears you. Your future hears you. In Japan, Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiments showed us how water responded to words. Love formed beautiful crystalline structures, while hate distorted them. And remember, you are more than 70% of that same water. So what are your cells absorbing when you speak about yourself? What are you coding into your life when you say things like, I'm tired, I can't, I'm broke, I'll never, ... This is not just mindset work. This is ancient science. This is your technology. Sound, vibration, frequency. This is how everything began. And you, Divine One, were given a voice, not just to speak, but to create, to declare, to heal, to activate. There is power in your voice, even when you whisper, even when you sing in the shower, even when you cry out in the dark. Because sound carries intention. Your words, your songs are medicine. Your laugh shifts energy in a room. Even your silence can rearrange the atoms around you when it's rooted in sacred alignment. This is why you feel a pull towards chanting, towards sound baths, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats. It is why your body relaxes when you hear your favorite voice, because your body remembers the original language, vibration. And that is why sound healing works, because it speaks past the conscious mind. It harmonizes with the cells. It reminds the nervous system, you are safe. You are sovereign. You are sacred. And when you hum to yourself, or sing over your tea, or speak life into your child, you are not being woo-woo. You are practicing ancient science. You are returning to the knowing that everything is energy, and energy responds to sound. So speak on purpose. Sing on purpose. Bless your space with your tone. Declare your day. Claim your healing. Shape your life with the sound of your truth. Because sound is not just a tool. It's the blueprint. It's the bridge. It is the way the divine moves through matter. That is why your tongue is a tool of magic. Why your voice is sacred. Why affirmations are not fluff. They are spells, sacred codes. They align your nervous system with destiny. When you speak words like, I am safe, your body recalibrates to peace. When you declare, I am ready, The universe rearranges itself to meet you in that readiness. When you whisper, "I am abundance," your cells begin to remember what it means to thrive. Say it, and it becomes. That is the law. That is your inheritance. That is your inheritance. And yet, many have forgotten. They speak curses over themselves without realizing. They say things like, "I'm always broke," or "I can't catch a break," or "Nobody ever helps me." And so, the universe agrees. As you wish. But now, you know better. So, you do better. You wield the word like the divine instrument it is. In times of fear, you speak power. In times of doubt, you speak faith. In the face of fear, you speak power. When darkness whispers, you sing light. Because you are not only a listener of truth, you are a conductor of it, a vessel for divine broadcast. Speak life into your water. Speak life into your food. Speak clarity into your steps. Speak peace over your children. Speak strength into your spine. Speak purpose into your days. Speak miracles into your body. Write it. Sing it. Whisper it. Shout it if you must, but say it. Because the word is where it all begins. And you are a creator, remember? And every creation begins with what you choose to declare. Before the cry, before the memory, there was breath. The first thing you did when you arrived in this realm was inhale. And when your time is complete here, the last thing you'll do is exhale. You see, breath is the bridge. The bridge between the seen and the unseen. Between your soul and your body. Between spirit and matter. It is no accident that the words for breath in ancient languages also mean spirit. In Hebrew, ruach. In Greek, pneuma. In Sanskrit, prana. You were designed to carry divine intelligence through your breath. Each inhale is an invitation. Each exhale, a release. The breath connects you to the now, the eternal present, the only time that's real. This is why when you are anxious, you forget to breathe, because your power lives in your present. Through the breath, you can still the mind. You can return to your center. You can clear energy that does not belong to you. You can literally reprogram the nervous system. This is not metaphysical fluff. It is biology. It is neuroscience. It is sacred design. With intention, breath becomes a tool of transmutation. You can breathe through pain, breathe through trauma, breathe your way back to your higher self, back to the mission, back to the remembrance. When you close your eyes and breathe deeply, you awaken. Because the breath reminds the body, I am safe. I am here. I am alive. So breathe like your ancestors are watching. Breathe like your children's children will benefit from your healing. Breathe like you are recalibrating timelines because you are. The sacred breath is how the Creator whispers to you. And when you listen closely, you'll realize it's always been whispering. Whispering, you're never alone. I am within you. I am. The breath that moves you. You have never been alone. You have never been without guidance. It was never a matter of being disconnected. It was simply a matter of remembering how to listen. There's a quiet voice within you, a whisper of truth that doesn't scream for your attention, but calmly nudges you, guides you, comforts you, even warns you. Some call it intuition. Others call it gut instinct. But what it truly is the voice of your higher self, your divine self. Soft, subtle, certain. It does not yell. It does not panic. It does not operate from fear. This voice inside of you, undeniable. It does not compete with the noise of the world. It waits, patiently, lovingly, like a mother who already knows her child will return home. That voice, that knowing, that divine you. This is the version of you that never left source. The version of you that still remembers why you came. It's the one that whispers, "Psst, come here. I have the answers. You're not crazy. You're not behind. This is the way." Your higher self isn't worried about who unfollowed you, or what the algorithm is doing, or if they understood your post, or how your relationships even are faring. It does not obsess over outcomes. It does not allow relationships to sway your might. It does not measure your value by productivity. It does not rush, panic, or prove. It simply knows. It remembers the assignment. It remembers the power. It remembers how this all unfolds. It is regal. It is radiant. It is whole. It is sovereign. And it has never judged you for forgetting. It simply waits for your return. In stillness, in dreams, in synchronicities, in those moments of deja vu, in the feeling you get when your soul says yes. Your higher self is not something you must earn. And it's not out there in the sky. It is you, the eternal you, the brilliant, divine you, untouched by programming. Every time you pause to breathe, to listen, to consult your own soul, you are returning to the throne. Every time you pause to breathe, to listen, to consult your own soul, you are returning to the throne. And that throne, it has always had your name on it. So stop, breathe, listen. She or he is still whispering. This is the part of you that never forgot the mission. The part that knew you'd fall asleep, but also knew you would wake up. Your intuition is not something you learn, it is something you remember. It is the language of your soul, a language you knew fluently as a child before the world taught you to speak fear. It's the quiet nudge when something feels off. It's the goosebumps when truth is spoken. It is the sudden knowing that defies logic. It's the peace that floods your chest when you say yes to your alignment. You were never meant to rely only on external direction. The GPS of your soul is internal. And when you begin to listen again, to truly trust that voice, everything changes. The higher self is not separate from you. It is you, unfiltered. It is your clearest channel, your cosmic assistant, your divine intelligence, the guardian of your timeline. It sees beyond your fear, beyond your limits, beyond time. And when you pause, when you go within, when you ask and trust the first whisper, you are remembering who you've always been. This reconnection is the beginning of mastery. And mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means alignment. You already know what to do. You already know what's true. You already know what's yours. Listen. You've heard it before, when you knew something without knowing how, when you felt a person's energy before they spoke, when your stomach tightened before a decision and you didn't listen and had to learn the hard way. That wasn't just instinct. That was the divine technology within you, alerting you, guiding you, activating. It is important to understand the difference between intuition and fear. Fear shouts. Intuition whispers. Fear is chaotic. Intuition is calm. Fear is loud, urgent, and reactive. Intuition is soft, peaceful, and just knows, even when it's warning you. Intuition doesn't throw you into panic. It plants a seed, a gentle discomfort, a quiet pull in another direction. And when you honor it, when you follow the whisper instead of the noise, everything begins to unfold with divine precision. Your higher self is always speaking. That random idea you got in the shower, the vision that flashed across your mind while you were driving, the chills you felt when someone spoke a truth your soul already knew, that is your higher self speaking. It is your eternal self, the version of you that exists beyond time, the you that remembers, the you that sees every timeline and knows what's meant for you. Your higher self has never once stopped trying to guide you. You just simply stopped recognizing its voice. But now, in this new season, you are beginning to remember. You are starting to trust. You are reclaiming your inner knowing. This isn't new. This is ancient. This is who you were before the world told you to doubt yourself. There are some things that cannot be rushed, and this, your awakening, your remembering, was one of them. It may have felt like you were behind, like others were ahead of you, like you missed something. But Spirit says, you were right on time. Always have been, always will be. You weren't late. You weren't wrong. You were being prepared. Because what is coming to you is greater than what you prayed for. But in order to receive it, you had to become it. You had to remember who you were in the dark. So yes, some things had to be delayed. Some people had to walk away. Some doors had to close. Not because you weren't worthy, but because you were being divinely protected from anything that would lower your frequency. Thought it was rejection, but it was divine interception. They thought it was rejection, but it was divine interception. That illness, that heartbreak, that betrayal, all of it was sacred. It cracked you open in just the right way to let more light in. Soften your heart, sharpen your discernment, and attune you to the frequency of your future self. You see, divine timing is not just about delay. It's about sacred alignment. It's about letting Spirit rearrange the pieces of your life so that when it's time, you walk through the door ready. Your blessings will never arrive late. They are coded to your evolution. You are the calendar. You are the hourglass. When you are aligned, time bends in your favor. And when you look back, you will say, oh, it had to happen this way. So trust it. The detour was the delivery route. The pause was the protection. The isolation was the instruction. You are not running out of time. You're being fine-tuned by the divine. Resistance isn't the enemy. It's the old version of you fighting to stay alive. It is every outdated belief, every inherited fear, every ancestral pattern saying, wait, what happens if we change? You wanted transformation, but transformation requires surrender. And surrender, real surrender, feels like death. Death to the parts of you that have survived through control. So when the resistance rises, when you start to sabotage, delay, overthink, retreat, know this. You are standing at the threshold of your evolution. This is where most turn back. They think the fear is a sign to stop. But for the awakened ones, for the chosen ones, it is a sign that you are finally close. You don't need to fight the resistance. You need to sit with it. Ask it what it's afraid of. Listen. Love it. Let it speak. Then remind it gently. You are safe now. You are no longer who you were when that pattern began. You are no longer living in the house that fear built. You've moved. You've upgraded. You have reclaimed the blueprint. And the shadow? The shadow is not your enemy. It is unacknowledged power. It is the brilliance you buried because someone once told you it was too much. Let yourself be too much. Let yourself shine so brightly that even the parts you used to hide begin to feel at home in the light. This is sacred work. And the pushback? It's sacred too. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not lost. You are in between identities. You are being rewired, and your only job is to keep going. The universe speaks. Oh, how it speaks. But not in the language you were taught in school. It speaks in numbers, in dreams, in whispers, in divine timing, and what some call coincidence. The chosen ones know better. There are no coincidences here, only messages. You glance at the clock and it's 11:11 again. You dream of an ocean and the next morning someone brings up Atlantis. You think of someone you haven't seen in years, and then they call. You hear the same phrase 3 times in one day. You drop a card in your reading and it's the very one you were thinking of. That is alignment. That is spirit talking. We call these synchronicities, winks from the universe, breadcrumbs on your path, a reminder that you are not alone and you are not making this up. Because once you begin to wake up, you realize that the veil was never really hiding anything. You just hadn't remembered how to read the signs. But now, you are. Every number you see repeating has a vibration. Every animal that crosses your path is a messenger. Every delay is divine. Every detour was designed. Every pause has purpose. You are being guided, always. You are on time, even when the world says you're late. You are on track, even when the terrain feels unfamiliar. It is not random. It is not chance. This is a divinely orchestrated unfolding, and you are the main character, not an extra, not a background player. You are the chosen one. When signs appear, acknowledge them. When the path feels delayed, trust it. When the doors close, bless them. When the numbers repeat, write them down. This is the universe checking in. This is your team speaking in code. This is the rhythm of divine timing. So breathe. Your blessings are not late. They're being arranged with precision. And your role is to keep your vibration in harmony with the future you already feel in your soul. The signs are your confirmation. Let us talk about that feeling, that moment where time folds in on itself, where you walk into a place for the first time, but your soul says, I remember this. This is what they call deja vu. It is not random. It is not a glitch. It is not your brain misfiring. It is a cosmic breadcrumb, a reminder from your higher self that you have, in fact, been here before. Maybe not in this form, maybe not in this timeline, but your essence has walked this earth before. Because some of you are not just old souls. You're starseeds, volunteers, wanderers from systems beyond the sun. Your roots are cosmic. Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, Arcturus, Lemuria, Atlantis, Mu. You are not from here, but you came for here. You answered the call. You said, I will go. You incarnated during this time of planetary shift, not to escape it, but guide it. And that is why your dreams feel more real than this so-called reality. That's why you've woken up crying from a dream that wasn't sad, just familiar. That is why you feel homesick for a place you can't quite name. You're not crazy. You're remembering. Dreams are not just dreams. They are portals, windows, messages from your subconscious and your spirit team. And when you feel yourself soaring in your sleep, you feel yourself floating, flying, or fighting, you're not imagining it. You're time traveling, soul traveling. You're tapping into your mission. In those moments of deja vu, those are checkpoints. Moments your higher self planted, saying, yes, we're exactly where we said we'd be. So stop doubting your gifts. Stop silencing your knowing. You are not ordinary. You are not random. You are a galactic assignment in human form. Your dreams are intel. Your memories are multi-dimensional. Your path is ancient and divine. Remember who you are. Remember where you come from. You are made of stars. It begins with a whisper, a nudge, a strange knowing, a moment where something impossible happens and your soul doesn't flinch. It remembers the gifts. They were never lost. They were simply waiting for you to wake up, waiting for you to be ready to wield them with grace, waiting for you to remember that you are not just flesh and blood. You are frequency. You are light wrapped in code. You are a divine key. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, prophetic dreams, knowing things without being told, sensing energy in a room the moment you walk in. You don't need to learn it. You need to unlearn the lie that told you magic wasn't real, or magic is simply energy. Unlearn the lie that miracles weren't possible, that you had to see it to believe it. No, believe it and then you will see it. You always had the sight. You always heard the whispers. You always knew when someone was lying, even if you couldn't explain how. You always felt what others were feeling, and you thought you were just too sensitive. You were never too sensitive. You were tuned in. You were made for this. Many of you were powerful seers in other lives, healers, oracles, protectors. And now, in this life, those gifts have been quietly humming beneath the surface, waiting for your frequency to rise high enough to activate them again. So I must remind you, they are activating. You're not imagining it. The earth needs your gifts. That's why they're returning now. One by one, layer by layer, the veil is thinning, and so are your doubts. Let them rise. Let the gifts come online. Let your hands become channels of light. Let your voice become a healing vibration. Let your dreams show you the truth. You don't need permission. You just need alignment. Because what's inside you is sacred and the world has been waiting for it. In a world that profits from your pain, healing becomes your quiet rebellion. A form of sacred resistance. A frequency that can't be controlled. Healing is not becoming someone new. It's remembering who you were before the programming, before the fracture, before the forgetting. It's not a destination. It is a return. A return to the child who danced without fear, to the lifetimes where your hands held medicine, to the wisdom that once flowed without question until they told you to doubt. Some call it inner work. Some call it shadow work. We call it returning to the source within. Because healing is remembering. Remembering that you were never broken, only buried. And that your triggers are teachers. That your wounds are doorways. That your pain, it's not the end. It's the invitation. This work, the work of sitting with your younger self, of tracing the thread back to the moment you splintered, of gathering the pieces of your light and saying, come home now, it's safe. This is the real ceremony, the real magic, the real medicine. And for some of us, this remembering happens through sacred technology, the ones we've carried across lifetimes, the ones we're now remembering how to use. Quantum healing is one of them. Guided journeys, past life recall, higher self-communication, timelines aligned through vibration. It may sound futuristic, but love, it is ancient. Dolores Cannon proved to us that the soul remembers everything. Every life, every lesson, every contract. When you enter the quantum field, you access what was never truly lost, just waiting beneath the noise. Our work as quantum healers is not to fix, it's to facilitate remembering, to walk with you as you meet your own knowing, to guide you gently until your own voice becomes the clearest one in the room. And when the remembering clicks, you'll weep maybe, you'll exhale definitely. You'll feel the shift, not out there, but in here, in your chest, in your bones, in your breath. Healing is not loud. It doesn't always come with lightning. Sometimes it's just a whisper, a color behind your eyes, a moment of stillness that opens a door you didn't know existed. And if, as you hear these words, something stirs inside you, a curiosity, a pull, a quiet yes you can't explain, follow it, not to anyone, but to you. Because healing has always been an inside job, and remembering has always been the way home. This is the return. A return to knowing, a return to purpose, a return to power. You are not random. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are the one they spoke of, the one your ancestors prayed for. They crossed oceans, bore the weight of silence, endured fire and storm just to place the torch in your hands, and now it burns in you. A divine lineage runs through your blood, not just in metaphor, but in frequency. Your spirit team walks with you, gargantuan, divine, unshakable. And when your voice trembles, when you hesitate, when you forget, they surround you with whispers of truth, saying, you are a miracle in motion. You are the spark of the Creator. You are a fragment of God wrapped in skin. You do not speak empty words. When your intention aligns, the universe echoes. When your heart is clear, the grid responds. When you remember who you are, realities bend. You You do not manifest even. You create, because that is what you were born to do. You are the keeper of light, the transmitter of truth, the quiet storm, the walking prayer, the living answer. The confusion is over. The remembering has begun. And now you rise, not to fight, but to transmute, to create, to build the new earth. The world is shifting because you are awake. Chosen one, you are not becoming. You already are. Now go. Move like the one your ancestors prayed for. Walk like the miracle you are. Let your frequency speak in rooms your voice hasn't even touched yet. Let your life be the sermon, the prophecy, the proof. And when they ask how you did it, just smile. You always knew.